under the skin of the Richtersveld is something completely unexpected. A natural ecosystem that is second to none in terms of its diversity.
Once you get into the wilderness here, it gives you a real desire to find out more and see more.
It feels quite prehistoric. It's just like from a different era.
It is an extremely difficult terrain. It's only 4x4 vehicles gets accessible, mainly due to the mountainous desert area that we operate in. It's one of the most largest geological wonders of the world. Nowhere else can you find so many diverse geological formations in such a small area when it comes to geology.
Some days round pebbles, other days sharp shale, other days across these quartz fields. It just never gets boring. It's challenging running, lots of in and out through little gullies and ravines and hiking cliffs up and down.
And then your breath just gets taken away as you see the valley below, which has mountains in it and huge boulders the size of houses, and then you're scrambling over those boulders to get to different sections of the course. And every corner that you turn, something changes. There's no one consistent landscape here.
Without water and support and food brought in for us, we couldn't survive a couple days in there.
Some of the sections we're running through are millions and millions and millions of years old, and you get a feeling of that and an isolation, which is quite nice in this modern day world where we're always connected and watching or listening to something, to be suddenly out there in a very sparse environment that's dark and red and green.
You can see when you are on top, you can look down just like you are in a plane to see down in there, because there's an open pan, there's a river, there's mountain. It's very good.
As you crest over and the skyline just opens up, as far as the eye can see, just these mountain ranges, it really does make you feel alive. Just to get out the city and to have these 360 vistas that just go on forever, just kind of reaffirms the power of nature and the healing property of being out in an environment where there's not a single man-made thing around you.
There's no cell phone comms, there's just nothing, it's just nature, and it's very humbling, it's very big, and to be able to run through a place like this just makes it that much more powerful.
I think the people who come here are the ones who discover that there isn't enough of that type of challenge in their daily lives. Nobody who enters knows that he's going to finish the race. So you have to both be desirous of adventure, but humble enough to know that you might not succeed.
Something that is very challenging, but in an absolutely incredible environment and with a wonderful group of people that are like-minded and that have come to achieve the same goal.
I don't imagine that I could stay in a sport without just knowing that every time I come to a race, I'm going to meet new and interesting and very intelligent people. I'm just very worldly people, and I think that's what makes our sport so special.
I think the one thing that's great about running is the opportunity that it gives you to see a place. South Africa and running in the Richtersveld is just a really special thing, and you wouldn't necessarily do that if running hadn't brought you here in the first place.
And over 4 days, everybody gets an amazing opportunity to really get a good insight into different parts of the park that no one ever really gets to by vehicle. So the medium of being on foot, following a GPS, following a map, going from highlight to highlight within the park, including Richtersveld, the campsite at De Hoop, the Orange River, and then finally coming back to Sandlingsdrift is really an amazing opportunity to then see what the park is about in a very deep way.
We envy the opportunity to show people where we live, what we do, and what we conserve, and why it is important to do so. So it's just marvelous for us and our staff from this area, from the Richtersveld community side, to be able to host an event like this, and also to be able to get in contact with other people that they normally won't get in contact with.
I hope people who did this one, they will still come for more, because it's beautiful.
This is not just for runners. I think it's a fantastic run for trail runners, but this is much more about experiencing an iconic part of the world.